There's nothing off about me,
Oh, sorry.
Nibor.
You're fucking awkward. Isn't that
That's
the
why we got Aqua Minaj, man.
ain't that
What? Mm,
shit? Uh,
mm,
man,
winning. What's up, guys?
fucking bees.
Fucking bees. How?
Shit.
You know what? The bees were only designed to keep people down.
That's why they were designed.
That's why they were designed to keep us
I mean,
down.
I guess if you allergic to the motherfuckers, they will keep your ass down. Okay, her shit just froze up again.
Oh, however, the show was put on hold because I got a random call from someone in Brooklyn that I have no fucking clue who they are. So yeah. All right, let's get this shit going. How are
but I
you
bet,
today, man?
but I bet that nigga got bars though.
Bars, bitch. I don't even know what the fuck you
Some
talking about
bars.
right now.
All right, so
That's Ed. He's a host. Y'all
yeah,
know. If you,
something like that. Man.
do we have to keep saying our names? Like, would that be the
I
right
mean,
thing to do for people who might just see that one
I
episode?
mean,
Like, I
I
mean,
would say
I'm tired
like,
of saying
I would
that shit all
say
the
like
time.
this. This is what I would say to do. Like, okay, like when you go through and you do the edits and shit, just fuck around and drop our fucking our social media tags on top of the shit or
Oh,
something.
that's a good idea. On top of the video, yeah.
Because it's like, that's just like, with motherfuckers calling you by your name. It's like, I don't want motherfuckers calling me Ed for real. But I ain't figured out how to change the shit, So once I figure that shit out, it's just going to say my actual, like,
Exactly. That's why I told y'all, like, don't call me by my government name. Call me my government name. That's not really my government name on this shit.
so like, something like that. Yeah, you know. It's like shit. It's like, if I don't know you and I hear you call me by my first name or some shit, I'm gonna be like, who the fuck are you? Are you? Because that's just how I am.
Right. Like, how you know me?
Like,
Shit, people that do know me call me by my real name, and I still be like, how you know me? Because I'm terrible.
well, I'm horrible. It's like shit. Everybody is what up, nigga.
Right, right. Right
Because
here.
I'm terrible with names unless I'm really around you a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Right.
if you don't give me like a nickname or some shit, I'm really not gonna remember that
I've
shit.
known you for 75 years, and it took me 20 of those to learn your name for real. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, shit. Why should anybody call me by my regular name? It's like shit. If you ain't signing my check, just call me mercenary or some shit. What the fuck, man?
okay. Just remember that. All right, guys. So here's a question.
Okay. Hopefully, I have an answer.
I have a question.
Hmm.
And the question is based on our topic.
Hmm.
Maybe you can give us the answer. When were drugs first introduced in the Black community?
Said in the black community, shit. Damn
Like
near say
the
damn near
first
say
time we
23
ever
my ass.
heard of a crackhead being a crackhead. When was that?
Well, depending on where you were, it was anywhere between 82 and 80, like 86, I think.
So you don't think we were slaves and basing up and shit and getting high?
No, of course not. Because listen, what it is like this is what I said. Like it had like you figure like heroin and all that type of shit had been around anyway. Cocaine.
And my phone bag.
So I think it was probably introduced to us
I didn't even
not
know
long after slavery. Those
that.
motherfuckers started getting money. But alcohol was introduced to us way before then. So I mean, shit, ain't no telling what motherfuckers was doing. People been using opium and shit since ancient times and shit. So to actually say like in the black community, it depends on what era of what drug and all of that type of shit, really.
Recording.
I mean, really, like if you think about it, that's all you really doing if you fucking selling drugs. You invest
Yeah,
in money.
high risk investments.
That's a very high risk investment, but shit, hey, It's an investment.
That type of investment can cost you your life and your freedom.
All kind of shit. But I mean,
Yeah.
shit. Even if you're dealing with the stock market, it can cost you your life or your freedom if you do it wrong.
True. Very true. Don't do it the right way. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true.
'Cause, I mean, shit. You fuck around, step on somebody's toes somewhere, you might end up dead. They just ain't gonna know who killed you.
It's all just a game.
Pretty
Very
much.
dangerous game.
Life is a dangerous game, though. But I mean, shit. You got. it's all
True.
about.
Very true.
It's all about how you move, though. Really. Like, 'cause if you move around in the street or anywhere else, like you just can't be touched, then yeah, you gonna get fucked up some kind of way.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah.
You gonna get fucked up some kind of way.
I had a thought, but not
See, because the problem, see what it is you always got competition, no matter what the fuck you do. You always have some type of competition somewhere.
that's life, period. You don't even know people trying to compete against you and outdo you. You don't even know it.
I mean, see, and that's the thing, like, like the crazy part is this is what gets motherfuckers into the whole like the dope game for real.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like really expanding on what you asked me earlier to a certain degree. When you have people that can't really go out and just do what they want to do, like let's say if I wanted to be a doctor, but because of my circumstances or my color or whatever the fuck it may be, whatever the circumstance may be,
A lot
then
harder.
now you have to adapt. You see what I'm saying? So when you adapt, okay, what do you adapt to? First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go into survival mode. So what you do is it's like, okay, well shit. If you're living in the ghetto or some shit like that, and sometimes even if you're not in the ghetto, you're gonna fuck around and find your way into some other shit. Cause shit, some of the biggest dope dealers was working at Ford and shit, and then heroin hit hard in the 70s and shit, and all of a sudden all these motherfuckers was dope dealers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's my man's name? It was Courtney Brown and Eddie Jackson, I think their names were. They was from Detroit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of the biggest fucking dope dealers ever existed in the city of Detroit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's well documented, so that's not no snitching type shit. Just in case motherfuckers want to think I'm 6'9" or something.
No signing over here. No. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how you get in. That's how you get involved in that shit. You see a better opportunity, and a better opportunity may come in the form of selling drugs. I mean, shit. I mean, nowadays it ain't really no money in that shit unless you selling the right shit. Well, then it's
Right,
like,
right. The right places too.
right, like you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I can fuck around, I can go out to the suburbs and take a nickel bag and sell that shit for $15, easy, maybe 20, depending on which one I go to. If I was living that life, you know what I'm saying? But considering the fact that I'm not living that life anymore, shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like shit, like oh shit.
So what do you think? What because yeah, we got heroin, weed, I don't even think I'm even put in the list. Let's fuck that.
I don't count.
Crack, coke, meth, speed, LSD, all that shit. Like
Promethazine, you got
yeah.
fentanyl. That's the shit killing everybody right now.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
let's see. Shit, you got like the big thing out there right now is prescription drugs. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Let's
Percocet.
see.
Probably Percocet.
If you pay attention to all of the ones that everybody all fucked up on right now, they all opiates.
Yeah.
Which is why when they can't get the prescription no more, the first thing these motherfuckers turn to is heroin.
Hmm.
But see, what you gotta
So
understand is the government regulates all of the shit that you can fuck with at the pharmacy.
yep.
They can't
Yep.
regulate the shit that happens on the street.
So which one do you think is there one that you would think is worse or has done the worst damage to black people as a whole? It's like
You said
not
that's
just on the
the worst.
side of using the drug, but also on the side of, selling it and making it profitable.
Oh, that's easy. That was crack.
Crack cocaine.
That's the one that did the most damage to black people. Yeah, because you figure, like, even the Crips and Bloods wasn't even like really going to war with each other and shit to the crack era.
Right.
Like they
Man,
had,
when that shit hit hard as fuck.
like they had their beefs and shit, but when the crack era hit, that's when everything went left for real.
Yeah, I would agree. Seemed like everybody was crack at that when that shit first hit.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Like, see, because cocaine was like the rich person's drug. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they found a way to make cocaine smokable and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about it, the first motherfucker that they gave the formula to, they locked this motherfucker up for damn near 30 years. And they gave him the formula for the shit.
Yeah, I'm saying, here you go. Need to make money.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, Freeway Ricky Ross. Shit. Trying to make a better life.
And I don't think you can have a conversation about drugs in the black community without bringing up that man, like, at all.
You can't.
Yeah, it don't matter what you're talking about when it comes to the drug game. His name always gonna be brought up.
It's like you gotta bring it up because like they did that nigga dirty. They fucked around and came to him. He started off small time, and then you give this motherfucker a formula for some new shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, this is like the fucking CIA or whoever the fuck around and gives this nigga this formula. But then y'all lock him up because he's doing the shit that y'all wanted him to do. You know what I'm saying? That was fucked up.
You found all your stuff?
Because once they didn't feel like funding the Contras no more and all of that type of shit, now he's useless. But now y'all done already put this shit in the fucking neighborhoods and fucked everybody up anyway. Because I don't give a fuck if you have motherfuckers running around on crack, even till this day, there's motherfuckers that smoke crack, and that shit affects everybody around you. That's why I said it did the most damage because shit, that's like really that shit. I've literally watched motherfuckers like turn into damn near zombies smoking that shit. Like started off pretty and shit, and everybody was like, "Oh, look at her, she fine as hell," and then you turn around, and look at her, and she ain't shit no more. Like, you know?
Right.
So,
yeah, and the shit people willing to do for it, and just man,
it's like shit. You have
I got a couple people. I tell people, you close to me, shit. If you're not close to me, you ever see me with a pipe, just bullet right there, just kill me now. Don't let me do it. Don't let me go out like that.
Personal experience, right? Mm-hmm. I was just talking about this shit when I was I think I was like 12 or 13. Mm-hmm. That's when they first came out with the Game Boy Colors or some shit, I think. Then they had all them different Pokemon games and shit. Mm-hmm. So I think I had like Pokemon Yellow in my little Game Boy Color. And I fell asleep on the floor of my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna call him my uncle. Not gonna say which one, but my uncle. I fucked around. I fell asleep on the floor. We left. When I say nigga, we was gone for 2 blocks. When I say I left my Game Boy, we turned back around. That shit was gone. And so was my uncle. Like this is like a real fucking story. Like this is. I was like, yeah, like shit. Like that's how fucked up that shit was. You was still from the family. You would go in somebody's house. You break in, steal the toaster, the microwave, the refrigerator, whatever the fuck you get your hands on, so you can get a rock.
Right.
Like a nigga cut your grand.
Hey, sorry to disrupt your story. Very true though. They don't give a fuck. They taking whatever they can. But I need to take a quick commercial break. But I don't have a commercial to play. So if you want to say a few words or do something that would be fine, but I need a moment.
All right, well. Yeah, dare not to do drugs and shit. Scruff, McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck else to say, shit.
What? More chips in the crib?
More chips shit, I don't know. Once them bags get open, them kids get to going crazy, nigga. Nigga, they some snack fiends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chips.
But shit, you know, shit. Yeah, that drug life is like that's a dangerous and dirty ass game, man. Like shit, I'd have lived to it, surprisingly. So, yeah, quite honestly, I mean, shit, like nigga, I think my worst experience was me being in the middle of a fucking raid, nigga. I think that was my worst experience. Nigga having to jump out a second story window, nigga, and I'm scared of heights. You know what I But nigga, I was more scared to get locked the fuck up forever than fucking heights, nigga. Shit. Jumped out that window fast as hell. We heard them niggas coming up those stairs. I was like, yep, I'm out. Like, I guess watching all them action movies taught my ass how to fuck around, hit the ground, tuck and roll, nigga. Right. Hey, shit. And I wasn't even the nigga selling the dope. That's what made it crazy. I was just over there chilling. Talking to my cousin and shit, nigga. We hear boom, boom. I'm like, oh shit. The nigga, somebody ran over to the fucking window. They like, oh shit. Like, oh fuck. Well, shit. Out the window we go, nigga. Fuck it. And there was one of them houses over there, like on Woodrow. Like, you know them big ass houses over there, nigga. Man. I say, nigga, I went out that window. Didn't think twice, nigga. I was like, nope, I'm out. Fuck this shit. Oh yeah, nigga. They had one little fence for me to get over, nigga. I hit that fence, ran through somebody's yard, nigga, and hit a left. Good part was I didn't drive over there or nothing, shit. You know, they would have been all by the car. That shit was crazy though. I'm trying to think, how old was I when that shit happened? I think I was like 19. But yeah, that shit was crazy. Let's see,
Very
like
interesting story.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I done lived that life, shit. Right? Like the crazy part was I was sitting there thinking, like, should I cop something or should I not cop something? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I heard them niggas hitting the door and shit. I'm like, oh fuck.
It was the day you should have said no.
Oh, I did say no that day. I was like, nope, ain't happening. Okay. Like shit. No, I can't talk. I can't vouch the same way for the next day, but shit, like you.
Yeah.
But you know, shit.
The fate that a lot of our black males end up in. Should I or should?
That shit's gonna happen. If you fuck around, like, listen.
That's fast money. Get it fast, quick.
Really got
so
me.
You can't ever have nothing, and then you get a little bit of money, a little bit of pieces. Something now you wanna.
Well, see, the thing was, like, okay, see, I was one of those little young niggas. I was gonna try to do the right thing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was applying for McDonald's and Burger King and all of this shit, and because I was in the DAPSET program, I don't know if you remember what that is, but Detroit area pre-college engineering program. So I was in DAPSET.
Unfair.
And I would put that shit on the job application, and like they'd see that shit and be like, so what's DAPSEP, this and that, blah, blah. And the same way I just said it to you, they said, oh, well, you might be a little bit too qualified for this job. Like, what? Like, how the fuck am I too qualified to flip a fucking burger? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just let me get a fucking job.
They don't
So
want people who are too smart working at those jobs. That's why the ice cream machine don't never fucking
I
work.
wasn't old enough to fuck around and like get an actual job. Like shit, I was like 14. I had a work permit.
Right.
Shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was still getting a work permit. I had a curfew and shit. Like, you know, so I can't be too fucking qualified. Like shit, I ain't never had a job. So it was like, okay. Even though I was dabbling in the shit before then, after I got rejected by jobs for being overqualified at too young of an age to even have fucking work experience,
Mm-hmm.
I said, fuck it. I turned to the streets. Why not? It's like, shit, okay, well, shit, you don't want to pay me this $200 a week. I might be able to make
So
$500, $600.
here's a question I hear a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, do you think that has something to do with the environment that the person grew up in, or is that just a personal choice that the person has made to lead that type of life instead of continually trying to do what they say is right, you know?
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of both, actually. Like, because if you keep rejecting, especially like a teenager that's already at that point in life, you still impressionable as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So, like in my case, I had both of my parents, and I'm watching them work jobs, and I saw my sister get a job and work and shit when she was like 17. And I'm like, oh, they got this shit called a work permit. Hell yeah, I can get a job, right? I was all excited. I was like, hell yeah, I can get a job. And all they kept doing was, because at this point in time, let's see, 14, I was in the Wade McCree Scholarship Program. I was in DAPSEP. I was going to CAS. So they just looked at it like I was overqualified because I was smart enough to do other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at that point, shit, that means that I can weigh up a fucking pound if I need to.
Right,
So
right.
what would you rather this little young motherfucker do? Get a job or fuck around and sell dope and turn into your fucking mate?
Definitely sell dope for certain individuals. And so when
Because
you see people, you know, your friends of friends, just people you know in your community, and you see they have money and all this nice stuff that you want, and they say, oh, you have one little conversation, and there you go. Out on the
like, think
business.
about it. How many motherfuckers did we go to high school with? It's like, okay, you see their parents, and you like, okay, shit. I don't know if that one got a job. That motherfucker look like a dope dealer. Like you could tell, like back in the day, like with the, you could tell who the drug dealers were. Like you know what I'm saying. Even if they weren't still a drug dealer, you could tell they were probably a drug dealer at some point in life. Because you
Yeah,
know, like the motherfuckers that was always way too fucking fresh. Like the
yeah.
parents coming to school and they just nigga just fresh as fuck. And you like, damn nigga. Like shit, your pop's fresh as shit. Like you shit, your mama used to sell crack, didn't she? Like,
Mm,
so it's like, I mean shit. Now, I mean it's still kind of the same way. But yeah, that's one of the things that like kind of that leads you. Because when you start seeing the money,
mm-hmm.
as a young
Yeah.
person, you ain't thinking about fucking smoking the crack. You looking at the crackhead like, yeah, nigga. And then,
Right.
well,
And
shit,
you know what? Something else I was thinking too. Our last episode on education in the hood, I felt like that was gonna play a big part a little bit in this, well, a big part in this discussion as well, because you know
yeah.
you go to school, you ain't learning shit in school. They're not teaching you shit. They're not encouraging you to be more than you can be. You're just a fucking person in a seat, get that little count, and
Mhm.
that's it. So yeah,
I mean,
why not?
but see, that's a common thing though. Like you got to think about that too. That plays a point. That plays a role in this shit too. If you fuck around, you got motherfuckers out here, like especially like I said in our age group, and I spoke on this
This is
during
not for
that one particular episode where um like you fuck around like our age group we had in Detroit the No Child Left Behind shit. So you could be a motherfucker that could barely read and they just push your ass through school. They didn't put too much extra on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had mentorship programs for motherfuckers that already had GPAs of 3.0 and higher. But you really didn't have the same for, like, kids that wasn't catching on like that. But I guarantee you, just because a motherfucker can't read don't mean they can't count money. That's just real shit. So at that point, how many options do you leave that child? You're already living in a rough ass environment. You ain't got nothing going for you. Or at least you feel like you ain't got nothing going for you. You're not convinced that you can make it out the hood. Which is why you end up with those situations where, like I said, you got crabs in the barrel. And everything turns into fucking survival mode at that point.
I'm sorry. I hear everything you're saying.
Oh no,
I'm going through a medium issue, and I'm trying to run before my phone died. I'm so fucking fat and not ashamed. I'm having a hard time with the simple task.
Oh yeah. So you just gotta. That's how you gotta look at it. Like shit.
Okay, amazing.
Then, like, you know, they started coming out with all the movies like Scarface, Paid in Full, all that shit. So now these new motherfuckers think that the shit gonna work like that. But what they don't pay attention to is the end of the movies and shit. Scarface died. Yeah. AZ Faison got shot in the fucking head and all kind of shit. Lost like 3-4 motherfuckers. Little brother got killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like money making Mitch, which was actually Rich Porter. They killed his little brother, then killed him. Like, motherfuckers don't think about the opposite end of the fucking dope game.
Right, what really happens, but you know, but that goes into, you know, how we see our artists talking. You know, they talk about selling drugs and selling dope and how it helped them come up, and I got this and I got that. So you learn at an early age as a black boy, black girl that, hey, this is what's cool. This is what's going to get you the love and respect that you want. This go ahead, ain't nothing wrong with selling a little sack here or there.
Right, so it's like shit. And it is like, you know, we get chastised, like, especially like young black boys and young black men get chastised. If I come walking down the street in a pair of motherfucking Everlast shoes or some shit like that, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna get a girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the first things a girl look at. And I found that out because a girl told me that. And that was in like, what grade was that? I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade when that girl said that. And a whole bunch of them like sat there and it was like the first thing a girl look at, they don't even pay attention to your fucking face. So when they see a nigga approaching them, the first thing they do is look at his shoes.
Yeah. Not me, but yeah, most times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so let's say you're in a situation like me where I just happen to have like cheap parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daddy was making good ass money. He was working for the phone company. My mama was a city clerk. So they was making good money. But they had a mortgage to pay. They had a bunch of other shit. You got mortgage, light bills, gas bills, water bills. Because like, this is like back before DTE even happened and shit, right?
Edison, Detroit Edison.
You had Detroit Edison and Michigan. You had Michigan Bill. And shit,
about
right?
them.
You had a house phone bill that you had to keep up, all kind of shit. So when you start adding all of that up, the amount of money that they were making didn't necessarily total up to what the fuck I wanted. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the end. Because I could think of plenty of times where it was like, okay, the gas bill didn't get paid or some shit. And we was in that bitch with kerosene heaters and shit. And that was with parents that had good jobs.
Right, right.
So, god damn, everybody getting their grass cut today. That's some bullshit. But
That would seem like it.
so what it was for me was I wanted nicer shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be appealing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be quite honest with you, a lot of times some niggas just want to fit in, so they get out there and do shit that they necessarily shouldn't necessarily be doing, but shit, to fuck around and, you know, be able to say, okay, I got this and I got that, like shit. To a certain degree, that gives you a certain level of status and shit. It's kind of like, you know, like you got the caste system in India. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that in the hood. Like, okay, nigga, if I ain't selling drugs, I gotta have some type of hustle so I can get some bread.
Right.
So it's like if you're not the neighborhood mechanic or the neighborhood handyman or some shit like that, you ain't had no other options.
But to really sell drugs, right.
Cause it's not like you got enough businesses in the neighborhood to fuck around and hire people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you got 2,000-3,000 people in one neighborhood and you got like 20 or 30 businesses.
Right.
So they can only hire so many people. But the dope man can hire as many niggas as he wants.
As many people as he wants to. Shoot. You're not working for the dope man, you're working for yourself at that point, young man.
Right, like shit. Like that, cause that's how they put it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of how I got sucked into the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, when I was younger, it was like, okay, well, shit. Back then, a nigga would front you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would fuck around, you would get that front. You would go back to that nigga with the money. He throw you
Mm-hmm.
something here, and you stack that shit up until you can just buy your own shit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at this point in time, now you done built up some loyalty to this motherfucker because he been fronting you all this time. So now you still go back to him. The dope game really is like a fucking pyramid scheme on some real shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely agree with that. 100%.
That's what it is. It's a pyramid scheme.
100%.
So, I mean, quite honestly, it's like shit. I really feel like they should teach that shit in economics on some real shit. So if
Yeah.
Billy buys an ounce from such and such, and he makes such and such,
How much would he end up with? You know
right?
what? I still feel like if a lot of the shit in school were geared more towards real life scenarios, yeah, people would probably go a lot farther, be able to actually understand the work that you're doing and the shit they're talking about. Hell yeah.
Right.
But
I mean, see, this is what
we
I feel
can
like. See, you would have less motherfuckers running around getting into shit if off rip, like Cass, this is what I commend Cass for this shit. Because what they did was they had different curriculums for the different people that wanted to do different shit. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So like I wanted to be an automotive engineer. So they had an engineering program. They had an engineering curriculum. They had a bunch of different curriculums, like basically. You know what I'm saying? They had like computer programming curriculums, all kind of shit. But you didn't have that at every school. So like in Detroit, you had like Mackenzie, Cody, Cooley, all these motherfuckers just running around doing what the fuck ever.
Right.
Because they ain't really learning shit. You
Right.
teach a bunch of shit that they can't use
Man,
later.
I remember when I first started Murray Ride, I think like the first or second day, somebody had lit a fire in the hall by the damn vending machines, and everybody was in a panic and shit. I'm like, what the fuck type of school is this?
And the crazy part
But
was like
yeah, you know,
Murray Wright, it was funny because like if you wanted to do certain shit, they had Votech. Like you know what I'm saying?
right,
And
yeah,
you would be in school for like either you would be in school the first 4 hours or you would be in school the second 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they had curriculums, but that didn't mean everybody was up on that shit. So, like when I got there, I went there partially because I knew a bunch of people that was going there already. And my parents wouldn't let me go to Cooley.
Yeah.
So, it's like really, what it came down to was, okay, you finally about to cut this damn lawnmower off. But what it came down to was, you would learn some shit if you didn't stay at the school all fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
At least some shit that would be valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go to Votech and be a nail tech. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know at Brighthawk they had computer aided drafting and all type of shit. They had the culinary art stuff. They had nail techs, building trades, all kind of stuff. But at Cass, they basically had all of that shit right there in the school. So you didn't have to go to Votech. Now, if they did all of the schools like that, they probably wouldn't have failed like they did. You wouldn't have had like 30 little niggas running around through the school at Murray Wright doing fucking credit card fraud and niggas selling teachers weed and all kind of other crazy shit.
Right.
if
Yeah.
if you would have just fucked around and not decided to put this shit in 3 schools as opposed to all of them.
And not just introduce shit to our community in the first place. But yeah, I think we about 32 minutes in, plus what we recorded earlier before my phone kind of fucked up and died. So I think this will be a good point to say, yeah, you guys should just watch out for the episode that's gonna come.
So,
Get a little bit more in depth on the topic.
right.
Talk to a
Well,
couple.
shit, you might as well just drop this in there, like, you know, just make it part of the fucking. Because you be doing your little editing shit. You know what I'm saying? So just throw it in there. Fuck it. You know?
Wait, what?
Yeah. No, I said, well, you know, you do your little editing shit. So just, you know, throw that shit in there.
Yeah. For sure. I'm gonna just tie it all together, even though we didn't finish the fucking question, but whatever. We'll save the question for the show.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Definitely.
Oh, you're looking for a lighter fucking kinda.
Gonna fuck you up? Yeah.
On the way out, but it didn't really work out. All right, man.
All right.
Well, I will talk to you later. Think about the skit idea I sent you. Oh, I got another idea too. I'm gonna inbox you about. I think it's a good idea. All right, because you got a lot of good, interesting stories. So yeah.
Yes, I do.
Great idea. But all right, I'll talk to you later.
All right.